Hello, my dear dreamer friend. Today, my heart is full of excitement because I am finally going to share with you the secret that transformed my life in a way I never thought possible. After more than 25 years passionately dedicating myself to the world of sustainable poultry farming, I am going to reveal exactly which are the 10 extraordinary animals that literally pay for themselves and begin generating pure profits in less than half a year. If this content changes your perspective on sustainable farms like it changed mine, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. This motivates me deeply to continue sharing all my most valuable knowledge with you because, believe me, I have incredible stories about people who have achieved economic independence by following exactly these principles. Let me take you back to that transformative moment where it all began for me. It was so many years ago when I found myself completely lost in life, working a job I hated, feeling that every passing day I was wasting my potential and my dreams. Like many of you probably feel right now, I had that deep sense of emptiness, that there was something more for me in life, but I didn't know exactly what or how to find it. I vividly remember that Sunday afternoon when I visited my cousin Alejandro at his small rural property. He had started what he called his farm of the future just a few months earlier, and when I arrived at his place, I was completely amazed by what I saw. It wasn't just a traditional farm, it was a thriving ecosystem where every animal had a specific purpose, where nothing was wasted and where everything worked in perfect harmony. But what really struck me wasn't just the beauty and functionality of his operation, but when he revealed something that left me speechless. He showed me his detailed financial records, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Those animals that seemed to simply be living happily in their natural environment were not only paying for themselves, but they were generating profits that exceeded any traditional financial investment I had ever known. At that exact moment, a flame was ignited in my soul that has never gone out. I realized that I had been looking for complicated opportunities in the world of traditional finance and business when I had the perfect answer right in front of my eyes. The sustainable farm wasn't just a romantic way of living in harmony with nature, it was an extraordinarily intelligent and profitable business model. Since that day that changed my destiny, I have immersed myself completely in the study and practice of everything related to sustainable farms. I studied every aspect of integrated animal husbandry. I experimented with different combinations of species and developed systems that maximize both environmental sustainability and economic profitability. What I have discovered over these years has exceeded all my most optimistic expectations. What excites me most about sharing this knowledge with you is that we are talking about a model that works at any scale. It doesn't matter if you have a small urban plot or several rural acres. These principles adapt perfectly to your specific situation. And the most beautiful thing is that the more sustainable you make your operation, the more profitable it becomes. Just a few weeks ago, I received a message that filled me with pride and deep satisfaction. It was from Carmen, a retired teacher who had started her sustainable farm, following exactly the principles I am going to share with you today. In less than 8 months, she had not only completely recovered her initial investment, but was generating monthly income that exceeded her retirement pension. But more importantly, she wrote to tell me that she had never felt so fulfilled, so connected to nature, so proud of her work. These stories constantly remind me why I love what I do so much. It's not just about animals or money, it's about transforming entire lives, connecting people with more authentic and satisfying ways of living, and demonstrating that it is possible to live prosperously and sustainably at the same time. The 10 extraordinary animals that we are going to explore together today have been carefully selected after years of practical experience and detailed analysis. They are not just the most profitable animals that exist. They are the animals that best integrate into sustainable systems, that require fewer external resources, that complement each other perfectly, and that can thrive in a variety of conditions and scales. Each of these animals has unique characteristics that make them special, but they all share a certain extraordinary magic, the ability to transform simple natural resources into valuable products for which people are willing to pay premium prices. This transformation is not just economic, it is also ecological and social. One of the most beautiful things about working with these animals in sustainable systems is that you develop a deep understanding of natural cycles. of the interconnection of all living beings, and of the wisdom inherent in nature when we don't interfere with artificial industrial practices. This understanding not only makes your farm more efficient and profitable, but also transforms your perspective on life itself. Throughout my years developing sustainable systems, I have been blessed to work with thousands of individual animals, each with its own personality, its own preferences, and its own way of contributing to the ecosystem. I especially remember Esperanza, an Australorp hen who became the natural matriarch of our entire co-op. She had an intuitive wisdom about when other animals needed special care and developed routines that maximized the harmony of the entire group. When Esperanza finally passed away, after an extraordinarily long and productive life, I felt a deep loss, but also immense gratitude for everything she had taught me about natural leadership, community care, and the importance of creating environments where every being can express its maximum potential. Those lessons have been fundamental to the success of all my sustainable systems. This deep emotional connection with animals is not only beautiful from a human perspective, it is also extraordinarily valuable from a business perspective. Animals that feel safe, valued, and cared for in natural environments are healthier, more productive, longer lived, and require significantly fewer costly veterinary interventions. Now, I want to talk to you about the real numbers because I know you need to understand exactly why these animals pay for themselves so quickly. The math of sustainable farms is truly beautiful because it is based on natural principles of efficiency and regeneration instead of industrial principles of extraction and depletion. When I mention that these animals pay for themselves in less than half a year, I am basing it on conservative calculations that I have verified over and over again throughout my years of experience. Each of these animals has multiple sources of income, reproductive cycles that allow for rapid expansion without additional investment, and products that have established markets with constant demand. But this is where sustainability becomes an extraordinary economic advantage. In traditional industrial systems, the costs of feed, medication, and facility maintenance consume most of the potential profits. In well-designed sustainable systems, these same costs are dramatically reduced because the animals feed partially on renewable natural resources, stay healthy naturally, and live in simple facilities that use local materials. One of the most powerful strategies I have developed is the synergistic integration of species. Instead of raising each type of animal separately, we design systems where the waste products of one species become valuable resources for another species. This integration not only reduces operational costs, but also increases the total productivity of the system in ways that are impossible in specialized operations. Roberto's story perfectly illustrates this principle. Roberto started with laying hens following a traditional model, and although he had some success, his margins were limited and his feed costs were high. After implementing an integrated system that included several of the species we are going to explore today, he not only reduced his operating costs by more than half, but tripled his total income in less than a year. This transformation didn't happen by chance. It happened because Roberto learned to see his farm as a complete ecosystem instead of a collection of separate animals. Another extraordinary advantage of sustainable systems is that the products you generate automatically have premium market value. Modern consumers are increasingly conscious of the source of their food, animal welfare, and the environmental impact of their purchasing decisions. When they can buy products from animals raised happily in natural and sustainable systems, they are willing to pay significantly higher prices. This market trend towards sustainable products is not a passing fad. It is a fundamental transformation in consumer consciousness that will continue to grow in the coming decades. Farms that position themselves appropriately in this market have enormous competitive advantages over traditional industrial operations. One of the things that excites me most about teaching these systems is seeing how they transform not only people's economic situation, but also their perspective on what is possible in their lives. Many of my students have commented that developing a successful sustainable farm has given them a confidence and satisfaction they hadn't experienced in traditional jobs. Anna Maria's story is especially inspiring. Anna Maria was a corporate executive who felt completely disconnected from her work and exhausted by the constant stress of urban life. She started her sustainable farm as a weekend project to reconnect with nature, following exactly the principles I'm going to share with you today. In less than a year, her small farm was not only generating income that covered all her rural expenses, but she had developed such passion and skill for the work that she decided to make the full transition to dedicate herself entirely to her farm. Today, 3 years later, she has a thriving operation that provides her not only with economic security, but also with a deep satisfaction she had never felt in her corporate career. But Anna Maria's transformation goes beyond economic and professional aspects. She tells me that she has never felt so physically healthy, so emotionally balanced, and so connected to the natural rhythms of life. Her farm doesn't just provide her with income, it provides her with a lifestyle that feeds all aspects of her well-being. This holistic transformation is something I see constantly in people who seriously embrace the principles of sustainable farming. It's not just about changing your source of income, it's about changing your fundamental relationship with work, nature, community, and yourself. The 10 animals we're going to explore today represent the smartest choices for people who want to develop profitable, sustainable systems without requiring huge initial investments or extensive prior experience. Each has been selected for its natural resilience, exceptional productivity, ease of management for beginners, and ability to integrate harmoniously into diverse systems. The first animal I must mention is, of course, laying hens. Chickens are not only the most accessible for beginners, but they form the backbone of virtually every successful sustainable system. They are extraordinarily efficient, converting organic waste into valuable eggs, providing exceptional natural fertilizer, and integrating perfectly with other species. The second animal is ducks, which complement chickens perfectly because they prefer aquatic environments and have slightly different diets. Ducks are extraordinary for pest control, produce larger eggs with premium markets, and are significantly more disease-resistant than chickens. The third animal is goats, which can transform marginal vegetation that other animals cannot use into valuable milk and high-quality meat. Goats also provide land clearing services that can generate additional income, and their manure is especially valuable for composting systems. The fourth animal is rabbits, which have extraordinarily fast reproductive cycles and can generate returns on investment faster than any other animal on this list. Rabbits require very little space, feed efficiently on vegetable waste, and both their meat and fur have established markets. The fifth animal is sheep, which provide multiple products, including wool, meat, milk, and pasture maintenance services. Sheep are especially valuable in large systems because they can maintain extensive areas without requiring expensive machinery. The sixth animal is pigs, which are the most efficient recyclers in the animal kingdom. They can transform organic waste that would otherwise be problematic into high-quality meat, and their presence significantly improves the fertility of the soil where they live. The seventh animal is bees, which not only produce honey and other valuable products, but also provide pollination services that improve the productivity of all crops in the area. The eighth animal is turkeys, which have a very high seasonal demand and can be sold at premium prices during major holidays. Turkeys are also excellent for insect control and can thrive in extensive grazing systems. The ninth animal is quail, which produce specialty eggs with premium markets and require very little space compared to other productive animals. Quail begin producing very early and have fast reproductive cycles. The 10th animal is fish in integrated aquaculture systems, which can thrive in ponds that also benefit other animals and crops. Fish provide high-quality protein and can be raised using organic waste from other animals. Each of these animals has unique characteristics that make them individually valuable. But the real magic happens when you integrate them into systems where they work synergistically to maximize total efficiency and minimize waste. One of the most common concerns I hear is about the time required to manage such diverse systems. The reality is that well-designed systems require less daily time than specialized operations because many tasks overlap, and the animals partially care for each other in natural environments. With proper organization, all essential tasks can be completed in 1 to 2 hours in the morning and another 30 to 45 minutes in the afternoon. Additionally, many of these tasks are physically active and mentally relaxing, providing natural exercise and meditation time that improve your overall health and well-being. Another common concern is about the space required. Although more space is always beneficial, sustainable systems can be extraordinarily productive in relatively compact spaces because they use permaculture principles that maximize productivity per square foot. It is also important to understand that sustainable systems are inherently more stable and predictable than specialized operations because diversification provides protection against market fluctuations, weather problems, and other challenges that can affect less diverse operations. The benefits that go beyond the direct economic aspect are equally important to consider. Developing a successful, sustainable farm provides personal food security, a deep connection with natural rhythms, the satisfaction of meaningful physical work, and the peace of mind that comes from knowing you are contributing positively to the well-being of the planet. Many families who have implemented these systems tell me that their relationships have strengthened significantly because they work together towards shared goals, spend more time outdoors, and develop a deeper appreciation for the natural abundance surrounding them. Children growing up on sustainable farms develop an intuitive understanding of natural cycles, personal responsibility, and the connection between hard work and tangible rewards. If you are ready to transform not only your economic situation, but your entire lifestyle, if you want to develop a way of working that feeds your soul while building your financial future, if you are tired of depending on economic systems you cannot control, then this sustainable farm approach may be exactly the opportunity you have been looking for. You don't need extensive previous experience. You don't need a huge initial investment, nor do you need to live in a remote rural area. You only need the vision to see the possibilities, the dedication to implement appropriate systems, and the patience to allow nature to work its magic through your conscious care. The income this system can generate represents much more than numbers in a bank account. It represents the freedom to live according to your values, the security that comes from controlling your basic resources, and the deep satisfaction that comes from work that nourishes life instead of extracting from it. If this video has inspired and motivated you, please like and subscribe to the channel. I would absolutely love to hear about your specific situation, your dreams, and your plans in the comments. Every comment is genuinely valuable to me, and I strive to personally respond to everyone. Finally, I want to wish you all the abundance possible on your journey toward a more authentic and sustainable life. Remember that every extraordinary transformation began with someone's decision to try something different, to follow a vision that others couldn't see, to trust in possibilities that seem too good to be true. Sustainable farms represent the future of agriculture, the economy, and human life on this planet. By participating in this movement, you are not only building your own prosperity, you are contributing to solutions that will benefit future generations. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining me on this extraordinary journey today. I hope to see you very soon in future videos, where we will continue exploring all the magnificent possibilities that the world of sustainable farms has to offer you. Until then, take good care of yourself, keep your connection with nature alive, and may you have days full of abundance and harmony. A huge hug full of hope for you, my dear visionary friend. See you very soon, and I hope it's to celebrate the first fruits of your sustainable farm. If this knowledge about sustainable living and natural profitability has changed your way of seeing the future of your land, please subscribe and like the channel. We are unearthing the wisdom that the system tried to hide. It is time to sow your own independence and cultivate a prosperous future. The next treasure of knowledge will open very soon.